What made y'all choose Nashville?
Did y'all buy a house?
Are you sharing your daughter with the world?
Ooh. Another day.
Another vlog.
Another Q&A. We just asked you guys to ask us questions so we could do like a bit of a life update Q&A. A lot has happened. A lot is still happening.
Yes. We'll just get right into the first question, which is, when are you leaving to Australia? Speaking of flying to Australia, we'd like to thank Google for sponsoring a portion of this video.
How crazy? Be Google.
Just Google.
Casual. So if you guys don't know, Google has a lot of cool features and products that help people make more sustainable choices. A lot of them were new to us too, so we're excited to share them with you guys.
Three of the main products that we probably use the most are Google Flights, Google Hotel Search, and Google Maps. For Google Flights specifically, it's really cool because they highlight information on carbon emissions that are specifically down to like not just the flight that you're taking, but even to the seat that you choose. And then also when you search for hotels on Google as well, you can see if the hotels have made meaningful commitments to sustainable practices.
And then with Google Maps, they have eco-friendly routing, so they let you choose the most fuel efficient route if it's not already the fastest one. I just wanted to read information that they sent over to us because I thought it was really interesting. We estimate that this could save over 1 million tons of carbon emissions per year, the equivalent of removing over 200,000 cars from the road.
Google's also working to be more sustainable at a company level. They have been carbon neutral since 2007 for all their operations.
And by 2030, their goal is to go even further and operate carbon free every hour of every day. So that means every email you send through Gmail or every question that you ask Google search or every YouTube video you watch, it will all be supplied by clean energy.
We personally think a lot of these efforts by Google are really noble, and if you want to learn more yourself, you can click the link down below and just go to sustainability.google.
Thank you Google for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now we're gonna get back to the Q&A. Okay, so when we are leaving for Australia?
Juicy.
In a couple days. By the time you watch this, we will probably already be in Australia.
Yeah, because we're filming this while we're here in Nashville, because we moved to
We
have moved to Nashville. We're actually in Australia though, at the moment that you're watching this.
We leave, I think, in 3 or 4 days.
This is the reasoning between those like tight turnarounds. We knew we wanted to move to Nashville. We wanted to have the baby in Australia. The two options were either go have the baby in Australia, come back, then move from Florida to Nashville, or move before we left to Australia to have the baby. So it was kind of like we were on a timeline of how soon can we move to Nashville and do that quick, because then we wanted to fly to Australia within a safe window for Jess being pregnant and not pushing it too late. This was the best option. We don't want to come back from Australia with a few-month-old baby
and then move states.
Yeah, we want to come back to
it's settled, which is why we are here. I feel like a lot of people were confused about that, and so hopefully that makes more sense. It's right, it's confusing for us too. Did y'all buy a house?
Y'all.
Now we live in the South.
We live in the South, so y'all know what's good. Y'all.
I'm like wondering how long we're gonna live here before Gabe starts just saying y'all in all of his sentences.
I do it on text sometimes because typing out you guys every time is not the most like fastest, and I just don't like texting, so I'm just like y'all, but it doesn't come out of my mouth naturally.
And it doesn't really work with my accent. Like, for example, can y'all get me a glass of water? Like, I feel like it doesn't work, so I don't know if I'll ever say y'all. The question was if we bought a house.
Oh yeah,
is that what it
was the question? Did y'all buy a house? So we didn't buy a house. We wanted to have a kind of like pretty low barrier commitment to a property here, so we're renting, which is fine. We're happy with it.
We love it. Time to save. Yeah. It gives us time to explore the area. We are so excited to be here and like love it. But if for some random reason we have to go back to Florida or something like that, we're just renting and we can go back.
We can see the areas that we like, different like neighborhoods. If we want land, how much land would we want? You know, like we kind of get a lay of the land while we're out here.
I do really want land.
What's up, guys? It's like an hour and change later.
Oh, Gabriel.
Oh, guys, sorry I'm so busy and I had to take a call.
Apologies, we're back with Q&A.
What are you most excited about living in Nashville?
So many things. A lot of the things I'm excited about has to do with like why we even decided to move here.
The most exciting thing for me is that we get to build community as equals for the first time. It's always been like kind of me bringing Jess into my pre-existing community or my pre-existing world. And even when we go to Australia, it's me kind of being plopped into her world while we're there.
This is like a fresh start for the both of us together, which has already been so nice.
Yeah, and we didn't realize how needed it was for us to kind of grow together as equals in an environment or with a community. I guess until recently, just, thinking more about our lives and what we've both experienced together as individuals, separately, all that stuff, and recognizing that this was an important thing to do, and I'm excited for it.
So my goal being here in Nashville is to have a couple acres and just to, especially raising a family now, like live kind of a slower paced life. Like I had chickens when I was little, and I remember how fun that was going out with my dad and getting the eggs, and then our chickens had chicks. I just feel like that would be so special to do. I want to have like veggie gardens, and I think the lifestyle here is just very appealing to me. There's so many things I could pick about Nashville, but that was just the first one that came to my head.
What is the best thing you have experienced during the season of life?
Wow.
Yeah, that one was a deep one. The first time it happened was when we were driving away. Well, we were driving through Florida because the state is so freaking long. And then like when we got here, we kept asking ourselves like, what are we doing right now? This doesn't make sense. Like if you look at everything on paper, it like doesn't make sense. We're leaving family. We had our house there. We built that house. We loved it. Even though we asked ourselves that was like, the top layer of the iceberg, I guess you could say, in our minds. But then like underneath the surface, we have like all of the reasons that we know exactly why. So all of that was able to solidify peace in our minds and stuff. So we were never like questioning and really like freaking out about it, but really kind of just trusting God through this whole move and this whole season, and knowing that this is like where he has called us to go, and just like trusting him. Really, for a while, I had like this impression on my heart of like, you're probably not staying in Florida. I was getting more okay with like, wherever God wants to take us, that's where we're gonna go. Long story short, it's really like trusting God with all of it.
Mine's a little different. I would say probably the best thing that I've been able to experience is her in my belly.
Literally every day, she's like, stop what you're doing, look at my belly, touch it.
It's just like blown me away, God's design. Especially now she's so big, and we can see like a limb, whatever the limb is, we can see it in my body, like it move over my belly, and it's just been so incredible. I feel very connected to her, and so it's just been a blessing to experience. Although I'm excited for her to just be birthed and right here.
And you don't have to carry her inside of you all day.
And I don't waddle anymore.
If we're on a walk and then she has to pee and she goes pee and then continues to walk, she literally gains like a few miles per hour. What made y'all choose Nashville? I feel like this is its whole own video.
It's just so long.
It
gets very deep.
It even starts like back in LA.
Yeah.
We'll answer this question. It'll be like its full own video of like why we moved to Nashville, and that'll come in the next few weeks. We'll film that too. Are you moving back to Florida eventually? If that's where the story takes us, you know what I mean?
Our plan right now isn't to, because we just moved here. When we lived in LA, we did not think we would end up in Nashville one day. So we make plans and God laughs. His plan is always better than ours. But I was in love with Nashville before you were.
Yes. I had such a big like balloon idea of like, if we move, this is it. I have a friend who moved to Hawaii, him and his wife and his family, and they were kind of like, we feel like we should do this. This seems right. They were able to just do it and rent a place and see if it was where they wanted to be. And we were fortunate enough to be able to kind of like make the move, rent a place.
Our job can be from anywhere.
Yeah, like he was basically saying like, yeah, we didn't make it a big deal. We were just like, let's do it, rent. If it works out, awesome. If that's not where we're supposed to be, like, we just go back.
And I think that helped you have a bit more peace about the idea of moving somewhere new.
Yeah.
If for some reason we go back to Florida, then we go back to Florida. But
yeah, I don't know.
Right now, we just want to visit all the time.
We can kind of like enter this new season with #no regrets.
No regrets.
What kind of accent will your daughter have growing up in Tennessee and Aussie? We were actually just joking about this because we were like, that would be hilarious if she grows up with a Southern accent. You have an Australian accent and I just have like the standard American accent.
Yeah, or if she says y'all, but then says what up. I hope she does have some Aussie accent in her.
I feel like even if you split 50-50, the American accent is so strong and
so overpowering.
Also like just so dominant in media.
But I will say there are so many Aussies who live in Nashville. Another reason why I love it so much.
It is actually like shocking.
I don't know, like what do their accents sound like? We'll see. She'll probably say y'all.
Do you plan on building your own house again?
We learned a lot in the building process. We started that process in 2019 and we learned so much about how we actually operate in a house, and I think we would be so much more intentional about it if we did it again.
That paired with the renovation, with that home build, we were less hands-on because we were farther away. We were in LA while the house was being built, but with the renovation we're much more hands-on. Like, there's experience on like both of those things that are very, very good for us for whatever project we decide to take on next.
We're not looking to do anything like that anytime soon, but again, our goal is to have some land, and so if there's a sweet little house on some land that we can renovate, I think we would love to do that.
Yeah, one of the pillars of our like family mission statement is to make the world more beautiful by creating. Like, a lot of people are saying like, why would you leave the house that you built and spent so much time on and all that stuff? Really optimistically, it's just cool that we were able to build something so beautiful and kind of like leave a really beautiful imprint on that part of the world. And if other people get to experience it too, and it's not us, then awesome. It's for you because it's, you know, you're trying to make a good investment and do all that sort of stuff and, you know, work on a cool project, but you're also doing it for other people.
I know that excites me that like someone else gets to enjoy that beauty.
Yeah. Are you both happy? Both exhausted. The past few weeks have been like insane just trying to get here. We packed up the whole house, put all of our stuff in containers, shipped them off to Nashville before we left Florida. Then we spent the weekend at the race in Miami. After that weekend, we went to the renovation property, went back to the house, tied up some loose ends, like did a bunch of stuff that day, started driving, had 3 days of driving to Nashville, saw our cousins in Atlanta, got to Nashville, got sick because we were just exhausted, moved in, and then what is this? 4 days in?
This is day 4 of living here. And it's all basically pretty much all unpacked.
We hustled so hard to get everything done, like the pantry set up with all the things and all of the containers in the right places. And
so the question is, are we happy?
Oh yeah, wow. Yes.
I think we're really happy. We are ending a very busy season of the last couple weeks and months. We get to go to Australia and kind of settle, let her finish growing, relax a lot more.
Yeah.
But we're so happy to be here. We've been so excited to move here. So excited that we're about to be parents. And I feel like there's just so many exciting things happening.
Are you going on a baby moon?
I'm so excited. We don't know where we're going yet, but we'll go somewhere driving distance from our home in Australia, just in case. But I'm really excited to just like go relax for a couple of days. Yeah. I'm so excited.
Are you sharing your daughter with the world?
Ooh.
This one's a tricky one.
It is tricky.
We're not sure what that's going to look like yet, and we have lots of conversations about it.
We have for years too, of like what we would be comfortable with, and we still aren't fully sure. Honestly, I don't want this to sound rude. I would love to not put her on the internet at all, but I know that's not realistic with our life.
I would hate for our kids to ever be like, why don't you show me? Are you not proud of me? Are you embarrassed of showing me?
Yeah, I also want to protect her with all of my being. There are some creepy people on the internet. There are mean people on the internet. We have gone through it for years, and I want to protect her so much from that. When we were little, we didn't have this. Like, our parents weren't posting all of our videos and photos online, and so
there was barely even an online.
I think it's just something that we're gonna have to navigate and find out what we're comfortable with.
I really want them to be able to make the choice themselves when the time is right, if this is like something that they want to do as a career. Really trying to like approach it as like healthy as possible for like protecting the child, but also like our whole family as a unit and all that stuff.
If they end up wanting to do some sort of editing, or, you know, we'll encourage that if they want to do it. But I think kind of going along with me wanting land and like living this like simple, like just life on some land. Pregnancy brain, I literally no idea what I was saying.
Why'd you say land?
I have no idea.
You just want to remind them that you want some land?
Because I want land. No. I literally no idea.
She was almost back, guys.
That is such a loaded question and something we're still figuring out.
We're not going to know until we are in it. Like, we see what other people have done and we go, oh, we really like that, or we don't like that, we're not going to do that, you know, and we try and figure out what sort of plan we want to stick to as a family.
Yeah, I think photos are a lot different, but like putting them in a lot of vlogs and stuff, I'm not super comfortable with. But again, we'll just see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. That was a proper catch-up. I feel like we haven't unloaded this information in a while.
And we really will do that whole long story of why we moved soon, because I feel like that's going to be another long kind of catch-up-y one. We love you.
And we'll see you in the next video.
In Australia, probably.
In Australia, probably. So, watch out. Peace out.
From Jess
and Gabriel Conti. You!